And we're back again, folks, with other Masters of the Universe Origins figure, Zodac. I'm really stoked about Zodac. He's one of my favorite characters, but I realized today that I don't have a vintage Zodac to compare him with. I thought I did, but I don't. Because I've been collecting and recollecting certain figures. I came to realize today that I do not have a Zodac. I have a reaction figure, but I used to have the classics, but I don't have a vintage one to compare him to, so that kind of sucks. I was digging around trying to find things to compare him to, and yeah, I couldn't find anything worthwhile, anything that is Zodac. But anyway, as far as vintage figures go, but no, I'm really stoked because this is one of my favorite characters. Some friends would say, hey, he's kind of goofy, he's kind of weird. I always thought he was cool. I never disliked Zodac. I think it was me, Overlord and Vampire, talking about that once, and I defended Zodac. But I like Zodac because through, I guess, the mythos of cross-sell posters and stuff and different things, that he was once, I guess, mistakenly considered a bad guy or a villain. So that's kind of weird and interesting. And also, he's a cosmic enforcer, which I thought it was rad that he's going to go enforce some cosmics or cosmoses, which I think is cool because it kind of, to me, I thought it makes him more like a Jedi or something, just kind of keeping the, kind of like a space cop, you know, so to speak. And I always thought that was cool. I always thought that was rad that if things go too crazy in Eternia between He-Man and Skeletor or whatever, that he's kind of like a watcher maybe from Marvel, that he could just like kind of step in and be like, look guys, we gotta fix this. You guys are getting a little too crazy here for this planet or for the cosmos or for space or this part of the galaxy, and we got to right this wrong. So I always thought that was kind of cool. I was like, man, he kind of gnarly if he can, you know, come and force some cosmos or whatever. But anyways, Zodac's awesome. I always love Zodac, and I've kind of blabbered a little bit here, but yeah, here he is with this the Gray Skull throne, which I think we saw him on the Point Dread, the Power Point Dread, which actually you see Point Dread in the background. So that's bringing up a big time homage to the old school Power Point Dread, either the mini comic or also the record comic, which is pretty cool. And there is a Skeletor and He-Man battling on some mountaintop. That's pretty epic. That's cool, and that's something I used to do with my old figures and stuff, where my old Gray Skulls, like, snapped off the chair or the throne, and I would have him ride around in it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Once again, I guess this is a Canadian release because there is no, or a foreign release because there's no descriptions or anything. And there you go, some more info. New characters from Wave 3. So yeah, let's go ahead and rip this guy open and check him out. And one thing I noticed and wanted to point out on this review is that his armor's a little different. I have the vintage weapons pack armor on this Realm of the Underworld figure that my brother Vampire gave me. And yeah, it's obviously gonna be a little bit different compared to that. I mean, it's the same design, but just a little bit different. Looking at it, so that's cool. Just had to do that. Here's his laser pistol, or cosmic pistol. I wish I still had the classics version because I like to compare that too, but can't get, you know, too crazy with comparisons and stuff. And here's Seth Rollins. So I think on Seth Rollins it might be more of the classics version. I'm thinking maybe, possibly, but the paint's much better obviously on this version. And the cool thing about Zodac too, which is kind of neat, is that he is, hey, get out of the way. But very sloppy night tonight as far as having figures about. But man, he looks awesome, dude. Rad, already posing with this gun. And another thing that's interesting about Zodac is that he has the Beastman Stratos chest with the hair. You can see the hair on the nips and stuff like that. And then he has like the Skeletor feet and the Skeletor arms. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. It's always been interesting about Zodac is that he doesn't use the regular hero or master's human type body, besides the drawers or whatever, but they all have that. But yeah, he's cool. It's weird, he doesn't have much of a neck. That's kind of weird. Not much really going on with that, but let's see if we can pop his head off. Yeah, okay. Wow, his helmet just covers a lot of his neck. That's weird. I don't know. most folks will be kind of complaining about that. I'm sure some folks would, are going to be, but I don't care. He's still awesome. I love Zodac. Rad character. And plus I like the fact that he holds his gun pretty well and it doesn't flop around or anything like that, and it stays, you know, stays in pretty well compared to like I would say maybe Man-at-Arms and his mace and stuff like that. But yeah, man, this is rad. I'm totally stoked on this figure. And unlike Merman, his arms aren't seized up, which is cool. And we're kind of joking around that we haven't broken any of these figures yet, so that could very well happen on one of these reviews, is breaking one of these guys, but it hasn't happened yet. And one thing I love about these Origins is that just the posability is just awesome. It's totally awesome. Really good poses compared to what you could do with the, you know, vintage toys and stuff. Just really super dynamic, super killer. Just rad, man. Oh, totally stoked. Anyways, it's gonna wrap up my review. I need to actually check out this comic, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm mostly so stoked about the figures because I do like comics. I do like mini comics and all that stuff. I've read like all the old ones and all that, and I, you know, I have comics, but first off, I'm more stoked about the figure than I am the comics. And this one seems pretty interesting because you've got Point Dread in there, and you've got Roboto. It's going to list all the characters from the Wave 3 pretty much. I don't know about She-Ra, but I haven't read this yet. And yeah, and maybe I should do a read-through. I don't know. Some people do those. I know I can't remember the podcast that Overlord watches or listens to, but I heard they do some pretty funny read-throughs. You guys probably watch them too. Anyways, or listen to them. But anyways, I'm going to shut up because I've been blabbing and blabbing and blabbing. But yeah, that is a look at Zodac, man. It's so awesome, dude. I've been waiting a while for this figure, and yeah, he's fun, man. Just an all-time classic favorite. And one thing I noticed too that's a little different. I don't think he has his bullets. Yeah, it's one thing I noticed. No bullets. Like the vintage version, there's like these bullets on the side of the belt, and he doesn't have that, so that's kind of weird. Not a crazy disappointment, but just something I thought I'd point out. Anyways, thanks for watching, y'all, and more reviews definitely on the way. All right, later.